It's a wet and wild time here at Suncorp Stadium as we get ready for the Queensland Derby on week 3 of SRL TV. Hello everyone, I'm Ollie Parche. Joining me is Lachlan Martin. Lachlan, what can you tell us about these two sides tonight? We've got a very good opportunity here for these teams to try and make a fight for the finals, especially after some recent news.
Yeah, look, the Broncos, they've been in the media a lot recently, had a couple of dramas at the club. No more than that man, Justin Players, has been in the headlines recently over a few interesting changes he's made. With the Cowboys on the other end of the spectrum coming from a very strong win against the Warriors. This match should be a very interesting one to say the least.
Yeah, we do of course have Damien Moana taking the armband for this one thus far, with Chris Lord having to sit on the bench due to his injury that he has sustained against New Zealand, as it looks like it'll be Rahul Kaval to get us underway here. Kickoff just a few moments, and now it goes off. Good kick from Kaval there, down to Sam Herbin, who'll run it up for Kodar Diab, and Diab will try and power his way through up to the 20. You mentioned the media recently. What can you tell us about that, Lockie?
Yeah, look, it's very interesting to say the least. Look, I think the Broncos, coupled, there's a bit of unrest at Brisbane. Obviously, the trade between Joey Kelly and Cree Chapman-Kenny wasn't one that really a lot of Brisbane players were happy with. And on top of that, they're not happy with the treatment of kind of their other star players, with Liho Raymond being another one who's been stripped of goal-kicking duty after just one round. Brisbane really did win here to sort of prove the media wrong today.
Yeah, this is something they have to do, as Sam Herbin able to size up a defender and try to take on Norma Tuggy. Ends up being tackled 15 now from the Cowboys line. Early first set pressure as Creed Alex Chapman, the recently acquired player from Manly, ends up losing it in a tackle from, I believe, Stace DePace, was picked up by Brisbane for no advantage. An early good set in terms of meters gained, but really didn't have that last play dialed up.
Yeah, look, I thought it was a really good set there by the Broncos to start us off. Got down to the 20th of the Cowboys, but they unfortunately just couldn't get a kick away. I don't know why Creed Alexander Chapman was kicking on the last. I would have expected that to be Levi Raymond or Mark Irons' job, but in the end it didn't work, and well, Cowboys have the ball back.
Might have been just the option that Bo Sadler wanted to take, as stays to pace. The Cowboys lock trying to run it up now with Casey Namana. He gets it up to the Broncos 40 before he's brought down there in that tackle. A look left side for Moana, wearing the armband as he does. For this one, he kicks downfield for Tyler Weston to take into the coffin corner, and he'll bring it out 50 now from their own line. Early pressure being dealt out here by North Queensland here in defence as Jordan Ford runs over. I believe that was Wallace just barreling through and getting another 16 metres. Now Sadler takes advantage of, I believe that was the lock forward, stays to pace, being out of position, and runs up to his own 40 as Creelike Chapman puts a fend on, gets a pass away for Simon Hunt, and Hunt is eventually wrestled to ground. This is some good pressure being applied now by the Broncos as Mark Iron takes it. Was tapped by a Cowboys player, and Ford gets on the receiving end of it. We'll get another set, this time 7 tackles. Iron sending it long for Raymond. Raymond bringing it forward. Just ends up being stood up there. We'll play it just inside his own the opposite 30 rather. Alex Chapman over to Plays. Plays nearly caught Wallace offside there, but he just got back to the 10 and is tackled 15 out. Now for Alex Chapman. Alex Chapman again. We mentioned him earlier. He's got himself involved very early on here. Now over to Plays. Plays a sidestep, just barely held out there by Norma Tuggy in that driving tackle. Sadler will look for a short pass for Raymond, and his forced back. Good goal line defense here from North Queensland. They'll look to send it left side likely. No, they swing it right. Mark Iron is met well. Alex Chapman trying to fend off a couple of defenders. Barreling his way to the line. He is short.
Yeah, great defense there by the Cowboys, The Brisbane Broncos, they look dangerous there. A little bit disappointing last tackle play again, and nearly ended up working out. But the Broncos probably have to put a bit more pressure on the last tackle there. Again, the kick does not work off again. But other than that, the Brisbane looked good there, but the Cowboys defense holds them out.
Yeah, it was really good work by that goal line defense, just making sure that kick couldn't get away. Alex Chapman tried to barrel his way over, but to no avail. As now the Cowboys will swing it over to their right side. Tackle 4 already on their own 30. Wallace tries a scoop, but is met by 3 Brisbane defenders. Had nowhere to move on that occasion. Perhaps some people 40-20 look here. Not with Namana taking it up there. Definitely some miscommunication as they'll be tackled inside their territory. And another chance for Brisbane to mount an attack.
Yeah, again, another poor tackle, fifth tackle option there. I'm not sure why Casey Namana ended up with it on the last. It should have been going towards either Rohan Kaval or Damien Moana as an intercept thrown, though.
Yeah, now momentum swings right back as Namana will now take it through the center line, get an offload away just as Farrell was getting to him. Just flicked it over to Wallace, but he's ended up being brought down just behind Brisbane's 40. Al-Matagi now over to Moana. They try to flick it through, but Moana gave one pass too many, and Bo Sadler was absolutely met in a tackle, but got back up, wasn't placed down by contact, and Alex Chapman ends up taking this one and breaking through. It's been very quick early on here from Brisbane as they continue to apply the pressure.
Yeah, look, there was a bit of an interesting play there from the Cowboys, going inside and ended up getting in the arms of Bo Sadler. Interesting play there by the Cowboys, and now once again they're under the pressure. Just like the last couple of weeks, they've had a couple of errors to begin this game, the Cowboys. They have to be careful here.
Yeah, they'll look to do a left side raid here for Luka Moscow, and Moscow has to be by Matangi. Ends up bringing him down about 4 short. Spillane to Sadler. Sadler puts up the high ball. Who's underneath it? It's Bunty Cambolo, and Cambolo will be eased to ground. The Cowboys survive a scare on that occasion. Moana now to Namana. Namana nearly breaking through another tackle there. I believe that was the second row of Simon Hunt trying to get the arms wrapped around and making a stop. Now over to Cooper Gronk. Gronk just taking a quick run up, using the outside backs here to try and make a raid. As now it's Tateta Maxwell. Maxwell nearly up to the 40. Perhaps they might look for the early kick option here. Stays the pace, decides to do that with more of a passing option, just trying to spread the field to Cam Hodgson. Might have almost sent him through there, but some good work by the fullback to come up and make a tackle there. No, that's not Tyler Weston there. Who is that fullback for Brisbane?
Sam Herman, I believe. The star fullback
for
the
Herman.
Broncos.
Yeah, played a 5'8" last time, moved back to the fullback position, and here's Tyler Weston. Weston in a foot race was ankle tapped there by Wallace and was just brought down there by Callum Irwin. Weston putting some great meters in on that kick return. Now Herman brought to ground. Quickly was brought down by Kobe Johnston. Sadler will look left side. They go through the center through Kodar. Diab breaking into Cowboys territory on tackle 3. Now a chance for a few phases of play to mount something. Here's Simon Hunt trying to attack that right flank and gaining some good meters as he works his way up just to the Cowboys 30. They look left side for Iron. Diab nearly lost it, but gathered it back up before a knock-on could be called, and using those big tree trunk legs of his to drive down. Now Mark Iron, he'll put up a bit of a high ball. Can any of the Broncos get underneath it? They cannot. It's Matangi who's nearly forced back of a tackle. Alex Chapman nearly got him back over, but couldn't do so on that occasion. Now it's time for the Cowboys to try and get out with this big yardage set.
Yeah, that was a really good kick there by Mark Iron. Put the Cowboys under a lot of pressure. Amatangi did really well to catch that one. But now the Cowboys have to work their way out of their 20. They're only on the 20 after just 3 tackles now. Oh, but that's a good run.
Yeah, now Matangi breaking through there, nearly able to get up to inside Broncos territory. But again, it was Herban up to make sure he could land that tackle. Now Moana will end up taking the run, so the kick will likely be from Kaval here, as he'll play it just inside the territory of Brisbane. The pace ends up being the option, and he kicks it nearly in the in-goal area, but Tyler Weston goes in his own in-goal, has a look upfield, and is eventually brought down about 15 out from his own line. Sadler to Raymond. Raymond will take the run himself as the half, and it's the 3 defenders there who immediately meet him, not getting him much on that occasion. Sadler to Ford, long ball to Diab. They work it through the prop pack, and he's brought down, again, gaining about 7 meters. Now back for Ford. Ford breaking free, got an offload to Alex Chapman, and he barrels his way forward and into Cowboys territory. Now perhaps an opportunity for Brisbane to put some points on the board if they can get another line break here, but Farrell looked to Herban, and Herban was stood up, and he was driven back by Wallace. Herban will play the ball, 45 out from the Cowboys line. Raymond with a kick just inside his own half. Puts it down for Cambolo. Cambolo will get an opportunity, and he will run it up just outside the 20. Justin plays the Broncos captain being forced back here. Almost seems a bit metaphorical, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, Sorry, what was just happening? Yeah, Brisbane, you know, they're doing some really good kicks there. It's a really strong kick there. Good tackle though. And now Cowboys have the ball here.
Yeah, plays just was getting a lot of plays was ending up conceding a lot of meters there. Excuse me, as now a last play here for the Cowboys. It was on that Cambolo kick return, but it just kept on being forced back. But he did get him to ground at least, preventing perhaps something more punishing as Moana sends that one down to the corner of Western once again, and he gets a full head of steam here and nearly breaks through again. But that time he was brought down, I believe, again by Kobe Johnston. He has to quickly retreat back as now it's with Farah. He offloads out to Ford, and Ford is met Johnston getting involved yet again. Some good work from him on defense. Now Salah for Iron, now to Hunt. Hunt breaking free out. Matangi's quickly up there as a fullback to meet him and will arm tackle him to ground just outside their own 40 for the Cowboys. Kodar Diab, he ends up not gaining much there as he is driven back in a tackle, not able to get a good leg drive going on that occasion. Iron out to Alex Chapman. Alex Chapman getting a good leg drive as he'll bring it just inside the Cowboys 30. That's where we'll play it. Out for Sadler. Sadler to Spillane. Spillane looks for a cross-field kick right to where Cambolo is waiting. Cambolo finds a seam. He might be through. No, it was well met there. It was quickly off the bench there. Sam Lillard quickly getting involved, and also on for them is Pete Vretto. Pete Vretto was benched after being the starting lock for the last 2 games. Do you think the shake-up might work out for them?
Well, it's going to be interesting now. He's going to have a different sort of role this game, Pete Veretto. He's going to be sort of coming on the middle, just doing his job, not starting. It'll be interesting to see how the Broncos use him in this game.
Yeah, now it's going to be Tatera Maxwell nearly able to sidestep his way through the entire defense, but Bo Sadler was there, as was Veretto, to stay in a second marker. Goes to Rohan Kaval. He forces a pass, and that's taken by Lillard, who absolutely lowers the boom. I believe that would have been Robert Mobston who's come on for North Queensland. Just a hefty shot laid. I have to say, that one will be felt for weeks to come as Lillard again running through and getting a pass away for Sadler. Goodness me, he's just trying to truck everyone. He might be sending them to another world here.
What an impact he's had off the bench. Come on, he's just doing his job, running over all sorts of players. That's the type of impact I need.
Yeah, Lillard, and now Herban sidestepping. He gets it off to Alex Chapman, makes a man miss, and he's brought down basically right in front of the post, 18 meters out. They won't look for the 1 here. They'll look for the 6. They'll pass it short for Vretto, and they try to give him an on-field run, but on that occasion, there was a North Queensland defense ready for him, and he ends up not being able to break through and giving the ball right back over to North Queensland on a handover.
Yeah, that wasn't play there from the Broncos. I'm not entirely sure what they were doing. There wasn't much, if anything. Should have gone for a kick, put some more pressure on the Cowboys. But once again, 5th tackle options, they're letting the Broncos down, and they have, well, Cowboys have the ball back.
Yeah, I think it was more so that they used to Vretto being able to be a tertiary kicking option, but on that occasion, he was playing in that front row, and I believe Leo Kodar Diab, and as a result, has not been the option on that occasion as Cam Hodgson is brought down well by Raymond right on halfway on that SRL logo. Wallace sends it deep for Moana. Moana, a bit of a mix-up there. He tried to kick it and ended up hitting it into the pace. Not ruled offside, but will still be a handover for Brisbane right on halfway.
Yeah, you know, Cowboys should consider themselves lucky there. That should have been a penalty, and if it was a penalty, Broncos would be once again deep on the attack.
Yeah, they still will be able to try and make some incisive moves here, perhaps through Hunt, but he's brought down about 33 out as a mud begins to grow here at Suncorp Stadium. This must be very difficult for the players to get a solid footing, but we've seen them not struggle too badly as of yet, as Simon Hunt there now getting his incisive attack through down 15. A look left side, and on the last play, it's Sadler, I believe, trying to take a scoot out there. Where's the option gone? Spillane will pass out for Iron. Iron, a grubber kick hits a post, and it's taken up by Chris Lord, and Chris Lord has daylight, breaks the tackle of Sadler, but his run down was run down by, I believe, Levi Raymond, the big man, trying to make a break for it and nearly got himself home free there. If he'd broken one more tackle, you have to say he was gone for all money.
Yeah, I thought he was gone there, and then it was an desperate effort there by Levi Raymond. He didn't want to let them concede off that. I think it was Mark Iron's kick that was very dangerous from the Broncos. It was the first good kick, and I thought they were going to score off it, but Chris Lord picks it up and just runs 40 meters. What a run.
He took himself off and just tried to say, I'm going for it. Ended up having to be brought down there as now the Cowboys get in position for a potential attack. However, it's a Falcon of, I believe, Mobston. And another fifth tackle option let down here as Stace Pace is brought down 32 out from the Broncos line.
Yeah, again, another poor fifth tackle option there. It's going to put Brisbane in decent field position, put some pressure on the Cowboys. No scores yet after 28 minutes. It's been an interesting start to the game. I don't think Cowboys have had many opportunities, so the defense has been pretty decent, I think.
Yeah, well, I think it's been very similar to that game we saw against the Sea Eagles with the Broncos, who were just hanging tough in terms of their defense, not giving the Cowboys any opportunities. They haven't really had to fight as hard, but it's been a very similar tale. We'll have to see what the next 50-minute spells for us as Alex Chapman breaks through the line. Got a pass away to Salah. That's an off-the-ball hit, but they're not going to call it. Ari Matangi takes it, and he is gone. That man will not be caught. He will score under the black dot, and North Queensland get themselves count their lucky stars, rather. They end up with a brilliant try. Ari Matangi goes coast to coast.
Yeah, wow. A very similar try was scored to start off the Cowboys' tries last week. In fact, last time it was off an offload from one of the Warriors players that led to Amatangi running 100 meters. This time it's off a loose carry. Amatangi picks it up, got a brilliant bounce, mind you. Picks it up, runs the distance, and you ain't catching him from that with that speed. He is so quick.
Yeah, running start was just absolutely gone. As is Rohan Kaval. I did confuse him with his brother Rahul on the Raiders, so apologies for that gaffe at the start of the match. Nonetheless, North Queensland fire back, nearly run 85 meters, I believe. That's what we'll see on the stat sheet as Justin Plays now has to resume things for them after all that momentum was sapped for them as they go down 6-0 in front of their home fans with half an hour expended on the game clock. Plays kicks it down for Wallace. Tom Wallace will pass it off to Lord, who also nearly had that line break off that rubber kick that Iron had placed, but bounced off a post. Could have been anyone's. Definitely another flashpoint of that game as Redo lays a shot. It looks like the referee is just letting the off ball hits go as that one spills for Simon Hunt. Hunt will pick it up and play at 20 out. Now an opportunity for Brisbane to put some pressure on and get back into that goal line stand. It's a near intercept there. I believe that was Hodgson shaping up for it. Just going to get his hands to it and instead ends up making the tackle at least. As Jason Farah now pressing forward. He'll be tackled just shy of a 10. Now Raymond inside ball for Herman. Herman tried to step Johnston, but it was a good arm tackle to wrap him up and bring him to ground. Last play here. Lord trying to get set here. Gets back to the line. Iron back for Raymond. Raymond, bit of a chip kick. Maxwell took it. He's ruled in goal to Tara Maxwell with some beautiful positioning of the feet there and make sure to get North Queensland that 20-meter restart and 7 tackle set.
Yeah, what a catch there. Tara Maxwell just jumped up above the pack and managed to get his hands there. I thought that might have been a tap back opportunity for Sam Herbert to come under to potentially get the Broncos opening try, but once again, the Cowboys defense has been amazing today.
Yeah, but at that time, Stace Pace got through Sadler and got a pass away to Lord. Lord trying to fight for every meter there against Farrer and gets up to the 35 as Mobston has the boom laid on him again by Sam Lillard. He has been laying the shots today, really trying to fight for this Broncos club, especially in front of the home crowd. Matangi will play over there on tackle forward. A Pace will just take a run here at Vredo. I believe it's Alex Chapman actually and Sadler. Vredo standing back there at tertiary marker as Moana puts a kick up. Might be off the bar here. Watch out, Sam Herman. He's driven back. He took it in the field of play and Cowboys win a repeat set.
Brilliant kick there. I'm not entirely sure who kicked it, but it was an absolutely brilliant kick there. And well,
yeah, I believe it was Moana that took that one and just positioned it perfectly right where Herman had to jump for it in case he was under that pressure just to avoid that in the air tackle. but it ended up being just driven back into his own end goal by the kick chase. Great work by the forwards as they continue to do work here. Now it's Cambolo stepping a tackle of plays, but eventually brought down there by, I believe, that was Jason Farah. Hodson into dummy half. Now to pace. Centers for Thomas Wallace. Great work by Herban. Tackling him. Tackle 4. Center of the park in terms of positioning. 5 out in terms of a line. Stays to pace. Is turned over. And they will rule that held up. They'll have to play it 10 out. They'll have to take this one back. Mr. Pace will play it for Wallace. Now Moana. Moana was under immense pressure, but got the bomb away to the wing of where Weston is, but plays, takes it, makes a step, gets through an ankle tap, might be dragged over. What a great tackle. Bunty Cambolo. Hero ball there, winning the ball right back for Brisbane on a potential try saver, and also a great ball get for them.
What a great tackle there. Justin plays. He looked dangerous there. Got it past one defender. But it was a poor line read. He shouldn't have tried to go on the outside. And Bunta Cambolo came across and he just took him over the sideline. And wow. Now Cowboys, if have a brilliant opportunity here to potentially extend the lead just before the break.
I mean, I feel like Justin can't really fault himself there. He just got absolutely manhandled there by Cambolo. Dragged over the sideline from about 5 out. Couldn't get the knees down. Couldn't get the arm down. Couldn't get anything to ruin a held and tackle. And ends up being brought over the sideline as now Wallace tries to take a scoot. Can he get the arms down? Can't see from here. Will likely send it up. No, the referee, Noah Gould has the view. It is held up. And he will have to play it on tackle 4. They pass out to Mobson. Mobson will try and make a run at it. Is held in the tackle, about 3 meters out. Wallace looks deep to Moana. Moana again bombing towards Weston. He's underneath it with safe pair of hands, but is dragged back in goal. And another repeat set, the second dropout in 5 minutes for the Broncos.
I don't know how they're surviving this. This is brilliant defense from the Broncos. They had 3 sets pretty much. This has been a 3rd set in a row, attacking where the Cowboys are attacking their line. And it's going to be very tough for them to get out of this one.
Yeah, it's now Redo has to make a tough arm tackle there on a speedy Cooper Gronk. Gronk sent it out for Wallace, now for Kalsikow and then Rohan Kaval. About 1:20 left here. Wallace will send it inside a ball again for Cooper Gronk. Gronk is there. Gronk is over. And with just over a minute to go, Cooper Gronk makes 2 brilliant runs and gets himself his first try of the campaign.
Yeah, what a run there by Cooper Gronk. Put on some footwork, got past Sadler, and then takes on Sam Herban. And he goes and scores. Sam Herban, I nearly got there, but he just wasn't in the correct position to make that tackle. And Cooper Gronk just scores, and the Cowboys will like that one. They're looking like they'll go up by a pretty decent margin at the break.
Yeah, well, with no likely short kick attempt here from the Broncos, they probably don't want to risk going down 18. Might as well just try and send it deep and make sure they don't concede anything more there. Cooper Gronk definitely playing more of an active role than he has in previous affairs. Only has, I believe, 1 line break. Got himself one there, and his second one of the season results in a try. So we'll definitely be happy with that, and a great momentum changer as they might look to send one final line break here in the final 20 seconds. Ball taken by Aaron Matangi. He'll send it to Callum Irwin, who's come back on. He's wrapped up there by Farah and Alex Chapman. Last play here likely. The pace will just take it up to Sadler, and Sadler will bring him to ground. It is 12-0 North Queensland as we head to the break. Here at SRL TV, North Queensland carrying a 2-possession lead here, going into the final 40 minutes here over the Brisbane Broncos. Lachlan Martin and Ollie Pache with you. Lachlan, have to say, this has been a very difficult half for Brisbane to try and get points on the board. Is it more down to luck here, or has it just been that the Cowboys have been the better side thus far?
Oh, I definitely think the Cowboys have been the better side so far. You know, they've taken the opportunities that have really come to them in this game. Brisbane had, I think everyone forgets, Brisbane had a lot of ball early on. You know, they had a lot of sets on the Cowboys line. The Cowboys defense held them out. And although Brisbane were holding Cowboys out for quite a while at the end of that half there, they weren't able to do it for long enough. So I think definitely the better team is leading. Brisbane have to find something to get themselves back into this game early in the second half.
Excellent. I would have to agree with that one as the Cowboys look for an early kick on the fourth. 40-20 attempt nearly, but it bounced backward there. Sam Herbert just able to quash that great kick from Damian Moana, looking to try and get some early territory. Of course, we have the second half changes. Pete Vretto starting for second half and running over a Cowboys defender. Of course, also on Sam Lillard, Basie Wilson and Quandale Dingle, while Cowboys have deputized Thomas Wallace out of Kieran Wells and also brought Johnny Columbus on for Bunty Cambolo, who made that excellent tackle on, I believe, Tyler Weston. Maybe Justin Plays, actually. Yes, it was Justin Plays, to try and get that immediate territory, and which led to a repeat set and then led to the second try that the Cowboys scored as now the Broncos look to try and pin the Cowboys deep. It's to Johnny Columbus, and Columbus nearly breaks through, gets through a tackle, and just able to push against the tackle of Herbert for the 30 and get a penalty out of it. Great start for him on his first touch.
Yeah, it was a good run there by Johnny Columbus. Disappointing by the Broncos. Got through there, and then they give away a penalty, in fact. And now the Cowboys get a good field position here to potentially put a lot of pressure on the Broncos. This is not a good start. They wanted to get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, definitely felt like they could have come away with points on that set, but unfortunately couldn't do anything there as a hit laid there. I believe it was Sam Lillard. He's been laying impact tackle and running over defenders throughout this game since he came on about 21st minute. As now Kieran Wells sends it wide to Caval and then to Stace to Pace. Pace of no relation, of course, to Ollie Parche, sometimes pronounced Pace. Caval now to Mobston. Mobston trying to drive his way past the tackle of Creed Alex Chapman, but to no avail. Mobston will play at 15 now. Little confusion here. The Pace will just try and take a run here to try to make the most of the busted play, but Bo Sadler makes the tackle and he'll play it just inside his own red zone. Now Moscow gets the ball almost immediately, and he drives up to the 30, just getting through that arm tackle. Bo Sadler now for Raymond. Raymond inside ball for Herbert, and he's brought down just inside the 40. Herbert will play it back to Sadler. Sadler to Lillard. Lillard that time not able to run anyone over, just brought to ground very easily. Free Alex Chapman now to Spillane. Spillane tries to fire one out. Sadler nearly breaking through. The hooker nearly tried for a run himself, but he was brought down just over Cowboys 40. Herbert takes dummy half roll. Now to Spillane. Max Spillane driving forward just outside the 30 of the Cowboys. Sadler to Mark Iron. Iron will kick for the corner. That time it's taken by Tatera Maxwell. Maxwell with a sidestep. Can't quite get past Herbert, and is brought down just over around 30. Been pretty back and forth so far.
Yeah, look, both teams had their opportunities. It was a good set put together there by the Broncos, in fact. I think considering, you know, they've had a bit of a rough start, giving away a penalty earlier on. The Cowboys have the ball now. We have to see what they can do with it. Broncos have a few space in the defensive line, but they're closing the gaps pretty quickly. Let's hope they can continue that and get some good field position later on in this half.
Yeah, it's the last tackle already here. The Cowboys trying to run it down quickly. It stays to Pace. He'll take the final play as Moana decides not to go for a high ball, instead kick it down to Quandale Dingle. I believe it's only a second touch of a match. They did get involved early on in that Broncos first set. Play it out to Bailey Wilson. The other interchange that they brought on, I believe in lieu of Jason Farah. Played for Sadler. Now Raymond out to Lillard. Lillard just getting wrapped up in that arm tackle. Now third. I'll look to go left side again. Mark Iron. Oh, miscommunication. It looked like Jack Spillane wasn't ready for the pass, and Rohan Caval steps in front of it and gets the ball back. Cowboys now with momentum.
Yeah, Broncos, they look to go out wide there, but I think the blocker player just got in front of the ball there. Wasn't meant to be there, as that a good play here.
Yeah, Almatangi breaking through a tackle and just brought down by Herben. Now a goal line stand for the Broncos. They got to get 3 tackles at least. There's the hit laid by Vredo and picked up by Wilson. Not ruled 0 tackle, but they do end up not needing to make 3 tackles. They just need 1. Vredo laying the boon, and now the Broncos will be able to try and make a yardage set.
That's what Pete Vredo can do. You know, massive shot put on there. A lot of controversy with him being off the bench this week. He's come on though. Massive shot put on there on the goal line. His team needed him to step up there, and it did just that. Brilliant tackle there.
Yep, read the play well, but unfortunately, the offense can't quite make up for that shot as they only just made it into the neutral zone, that zone in between the two 40s, as the kick can't find touch, or the 40-20 attempt perhaps. Johnny Columbus will run it up and just tackled behind that hash mark for at least the 40. The pace decides to take one himself as they maybe look to Moana, but instead they just will have him play it basically right where Columbus was. It's an intercept! Justin Plays falls on it. I think Hodgson didn't read the play there. Ends up giving the ball away. And now an opportunity for Brisbane to try and mount some pressure and get themselves on the score sheet.
Brilliant read there by Justin Plays. Hit the face off. I think there might have been Cameron Hodges there. And he comes steaming through, takes the ball. They're lucky those defender back there to make the tackle. Let's see what the Broncos can do now.
Levi Raymond nearly breaking free here. Almatangi in the arm tackle stands him up. I'll have a look upstairs though. Soft signal here of no try. Let's see, does he get this one down? Not quite. Tackle complete there. Good work by Almatangi just to make sure that nothing could get to the ground besides the body. Raymond will play it now for Sadler. Creed, Alex Chapman, quick ball out to Spillane. Spillane brought down on the 4th. Now they'll look right side. No, they go short side. Good fake by Sadler. Iron to Lillard. Miracle ball out for Moscow. Moscow is brought down 5 short of the line on that left wing. Has to put Simon Hunter to dummy half. Played for Sadler. Sadler, the kick might be a touch too deep unless Vredo can get to it. No, it was Alex Chapman that tried but couldn't. And it ends up being a 7 tackle set for North Queensland. They survive another scare.
Yeah, Brisbane, it looked good in that. Couple good opportunities there for the Broncos, but as a forward pass is thrown, that puts the pressure back on the Cowboys again.
Yeah, now they have an opportunity to try and twist that nail in. Kieran Wells tried to send one quickly out to his left side, but ended up throwing that one forward. Just tried to rev it a bit too much. Spillane will play it now. On that second tackle, Mark Iron for Herben. Herben for Raymond. Raymond trying to get a good drive going. Now inside the Cowboys 10. Short pass, flat ball for Vredo. Vredo trying to mount his way over. Nearly got to the line by himself. Short pass, Raymond. They find Plays on the flank. Plays is over and they score.
Just the players who enjoy that one. A lot of criticism throughout the week with his name in the media quite a lot. But he just sticked it up to them there. A great try there. Beautiful lie around. I think this might have been Raymond who gave the pass out to him. And he just picks the gap. And he goes in for the Broncos' first try. And they're back in this game. If he gets the kick, they'll be down by 6.
Yeah, it was great work. Good eye there from Levi Raymond to send that one out to the left side. Raymond also did have, I believe, Tyler West. Sorry, not play, Raymond. Raymond had Plays and Weston. Plays decided to take it himself, and he'll look to try and convert this too. It's drifting right, and that one will end up meaning an 8-point lead for North Queensland. It definitely felt like they had the numbers there as well, because it was Johnny Columbus on the inside that just couldn't land the tackle on Plays. They tried to pinch that line, and it ended up not even working out for them.
Yeah, Johnny Columbus clutching at air. He was in all sorts of trouble. And even if he did go in on Plays, there was an unmarked, I think that might have been Quandale Dingle on the outside. So even if he did go in on Plays, there was no way they weren't scoring there. They were just absolutely outnumbered on that side.
Yeah, you'd be right on that. It was Dingle that has been on that wing. It was taken off for Weston at the commencement of the second half. So he could have had perhaps a SRL try there, but unfortunately, or perhaps just fortunately for the team, they did get the points at least. But it doesn't go to the winger, it goes to the centre and the captain. something that he might need is iron. Now to Alex Chapman. Oh, the ball spilled free. Came off a Cowboys arm. Herman will end up getting it, and now some more pressure to be mounted as it's zero tackle here. Now out to Spillane. Spillane trying to make a drive, and he ends up getting right to halfway. A look right side now. The open side for Wilson. Back inside ball for Herman. Herman gets about 10, maybe 11. He's looking quite strong here, Sam Herman. He's been able to make some solid runs with the ball. As Alex Chapman, it bounced off Spillane, and he was able to regather. Hell, another knock on there could have been curtains of this potential attack as they look inside now for Lillard. Lillard down to the 20. Now they look to Iron. Iron quick ball for Alex Chapman, and that looks like an injury here. Alex Chapman is down and is in a lot of pain.
Yeah, it looked uncomfortable for Chapman, it is. And the new recruit for the Broncos, he's in all sorts of trouble. We'll have to hear more about that in the post-game show, because that does not look good for the new recruit.
Yeah, that's just so unfortunate of a last tackle as well, a knock-on, but no advantage was paid and ends up being double knock-on, I think it was called, actually. So ends up being a Cowboys play of the ball. They'll happily accept that at least, just making sure that they don't end up having to defend another kick. Now Moana will send it to the center of the park for the pace. The pace trying to make some tough run of a rain, but not getting too many meters there as it go to Kobe Johnston. Johnston brought down about 42 from the Broncos line. Played back, now Moana. Moana looks to that wing of Quandale Dingle. He makes a relatively smooth catch as he'll be brought down just outside his own 20. Just as an update, Lachlan, what have you got on Creed Alex Chapman?
Yeah, they're worried it might be, in fact, some sort of back injury there for Alexander Chapman. Not looking good for the young Bronco, ex-Manly Sea Eagle. We'll have to keep an eye on that in the post-game show. He's going for scans tomorrow. Hopefully it's not something too severe. We'll keep it up for too long.
Yeah, we hope that he does make a full recovery from it as this ball now finds Weston. Weston has been brought on here for Alex Chapman and ends up being able to make a little break, playing perhaps out of position here in that lock forward. As now Levi Raymond will kick for the corner here. Ends up being taken well by Johnny Columbus. Columbus trying to make a run at it, but ends up not being able to make any man miss and just is brought down inside his own 20. Moana for Johnston. Johnston driving forward once more, just to the 28. Kieran Wells, make sure to throw a good ball for Moana. And then Matangi. Matangi trying to break through. He ends up just being brought down by Herman, but into Broncos territory, the Cowboys have infringed. Wells to Caval. Caval to Kalsakau. Kalsakau making a good run. Ends up being brought down there mostly by Sadler. Wells to the pace. Now for Johnston. Johnston through. Throws a miracle pass for the pace. The pace is brought down by Sadler, about 12 out from the Broncos line. The pace to Wells. Now Moana. Moana. He goes for a run instead and ends up being brought down almost immediately. Handover here to Brisbane just outside their own 10.
It was really good pressure by Brisbane. I think Moana sort of 40 may have had a bit of space on the inside there. He went to try to go in there and he just couldn't find the space, and in the end, Brisbane managed to do really good work to lock him up there. Now let's see what they can do with the ball. They've got to apply some sort of pressure here now.
Yeah, Tyler Weston putting the winger in that roaming lock position has worked out well thus far. The speed, I think, is starting to run those Cowboys forwards ragged. Is now Lillard, who's played a very good amount of shots recently. I'm sure we've mentioned that multiple times over the course of this broadcast. They swing it right for Herman as he was brought down just inside the Cowboys 30. They'll look for Sadler. Sadler will go for a punt. He finds Tatera Maxwell. Maxwell makes plays miss. Tatera Maxwell, he might be gone here. It's a foot race. Him and Herman. Herman's got him. Herman makes a try-saving tackle, but the Cowboys already have a red zone opportunity. Now for Caval. Caval tries to make a run up. His tackle just of our own 10. Or the opposition 10, rather. They go to Wallace. And then Kalsakau. Kalsakau driving forward, just held short of a line. Wells finds Cambolo. Cambolo for Irwin. Irwin trying to make a run here. Does he get the ball down here? We'll have to have a look and see. Soft signal is try.
I think that's down.
That looks very much down to me. Just couldn't get the arms underneath Callum Irwin. He comes back off the bench and gives the Cowboys a 12-point lead.
Callum Irwin, what an absolute player. One of the most underrated prop forwards in the comp, I think. He's just come on and had an absolute great run there. He got an offload there. Ran at Samuel Lillard, who's no slouch, and he just pushed his way over. Pure strength there, and he just pushes his way over. Great work there by Callum Irwin. And that's his second SRL career try. And he scored his first one only a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's good work for Irwin. Finally able to get himself on the score sheet there. Caval able to convert the 2 points, and they'll go up with a 14-point lead and under 14 minutes left to play. So will be very tough uphill battle here for the Broncos as plays will kick us off again. He looks deep now, finds out Almatangi, picks out Cambolo. Cambolo has also moved to basically Mark Weston, it looks like. He's decided to take a bit more of that lock forward position. Pass out to Moana. Short ball for Kausakau. Kausakau breaking through here, but a good tackle from Herban prevents him from making a run down that right sideline. He'll play it for Wells. Wells to Caval. Caval to Cambolo. Cambolo breaking through here. Herban just able to get back in time. And two big line breaks here already have the Cowboys knocking on the doorstep as they send it out to Caval. Caval brought down in a good tackle there from Sattler and Weston. Played back for Wells. Wells for Gronk. Inside Aramatangi. They read the play well. Brisbane end up making the tackle 11 out from their own line. Matangi to play for Wells rather. Wells goes to Moana and then Caval. Caval a bit more of a shorter bomb. Hodson goes up for the catch, but they were waiting for him and Bailey Wilson makes the tackle. Brisbane get the ball right back here with 11 to play.
Yeah, Brisbane got really lucky there. That could have been very, very dangerous had the Cowboys got a little bit more power on that kick. It was a very good set for Cowboys after scoring points, and Brisbane, they were a little bit passive on that set. They got lucky, but something worse didn't happen, and another try would have scored. Because another try by the Cowboys, and it pretty much puts them out of the game.
Yeah, probably a good result for both teams, honestly. Cowboys able to burn clock and get territory, but Brisbane didn't concede anything more than they had to. Now Kodardia back on here has tackled about 37 out from the Cowboys line. Already some good territory gained from Sam Herban earlier on in that set as it's given out to Weston. Weston making a good drive with those legs and now brings it about a quarter of a way between halfway and the Cowboys goal line. Iron with a deep kick. Finds the corner. Might dribble a bit too long here. No, Columbus has to take it on. Columbus is going to... he's trying to go the whole distance. Ends up just being brought down there by, I believe that was Sam Herban, actually. Just making sure he could cover that kick. Goodness me. Thought he was going to let that go. Then he picked it up, and then he nearly ran the whole way. But now he'll continue to try and run through and just gets up to the 40, not being brought over like Blaze was when Bunty Cambola made that excellent tackle. Moana now to Wells. Wells trying to make his way through. It gets up to halfway. Bit of a good run there from the deputizing hooker. Matagi tries to take a scoot and gets leveled by Kodardia. Big man on small man. What do you expect? But they're quickly up again. Just under 8 minutes to go here as Quandale Dingle takes a kick and will end up playing a 12 out. Some good work there by the Cowboys to get more territory.
Yeah, look, the Cowboys are playing really well here. Just trying to finish out the game as Sam Herban goes now.
Sam Herban nearly got past Aramatangi. He actually did put a step on him, but the defense was there to swarm back. It looked like it might have been Tom Wallace there that made the tackle as Levi Raymond will take it up here. Not long to go, though. They need to try and find a score here sooner rather than later, even if it's just to try and consolidate the match. Mark Iyer will play it now, about 32 out from the line. Now to Weston. Short ball was easily read there. They couldn't really go one up there. Might have looked to spread it out a bit more. Sadler goes right to Iron. Iron with a good grubber kick, but Johnston right there to snaffle it. And they end up not being able to create any points out of that set.
Yeah, look, being 14 points behind now, I think you can rule out the Broncos. It's going to be very hard for them to come back now. They needed to put something better on there to end off the set. In the end, they couldn't do much of it, and unfortunately, the Cowboys, they're looking like they'll be too strong today.
Yeah, it was good work there by Kobe Johnston as well. It's very tough for a lot of these forwards to try and pluck those grubber kicks up from the ground, but he waited for it well and just caught it at his hip. Was able to secure that ball and is able to get the Cowboys some good meters as they tick it down, really. Not many runs being made there. Callum Irwin will play it on the last. So look left side for Hodgson. Hodgson with a good deep kick. Just pinning Dingle down to his own line. He's ended up able to run it back, though, just to his own 20. Now perhaps with nearly 3 more sets, they have to say you got to score on this one. Kodar Diab will take it up. Only gains about 10 meters. They need to try and make the scoring come quicker. But Weston is the only one there. They're just trying to go one up here. Perhaps they know that the result is in hand and they just want to make sure that they can consolidate this result. They go to Wilson. Wilson being brought down just inside his own half. Played for Sadler. Now Diab. Diab, quick offload there. Finds Sadler once more, but this might force him a bit out of position here. It looks like Herbert has been taking the dummy half roll. He'll give it to Raymond. Raymond will opt to punt. Not trying for anything fancy here. Just send it out to Columbus. Columbus does sidestep Justin plays there, but will be brought down with just under 3 minutes to go here. Cowboys just looking to burn off clock here.
Yeah, look, I think the Cowboys, they know they've got the result now. They're just going to try to play out the clock. Now, no one will risk any injuries or anything. Sort of play out the clock and wind out the time now.
Yeah, well, how little time is left, and they just want to make sure that they don't end up conceding more of a point differential than they have to. Going up 14 on Brisbane will be a decent result as they will move to 2-1, so long as things hold. Never know in the SRL. They could end up conceding back-to-back-to-back, but that is a tall order for Brisbane to not only do, but for the Cowboys to alleviate to them. As Quandale Dingle is driven back on his kick return. Pass back to Weston, and now Wilson. Wilson, a shot laid on there. I believe that was from... I couldn't quite locate who that was. That may have been Stace to Pace actually being brought back on. As it was now Spillane. Spillane making a little break. He gets the ball out to Weston, but the defense is there for him. Wallace able to bring him to ground. Not long left now as Levi Raymond is met in a crunching tackle and brought down. I'll try maybe look for one play here, but they might just send this deep. And that's what Plays elects to do. Sends it over to Columbus once more. He takes a safe catch. It's brought down by Plays. That'll see us to the end of this. The Cowboys claim one at Suncorp. They win 18 points to 4 over the Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah, look, both teams had their opportunities to finish out this game. I think the Cowboys just took more opportunities. Broncos had plenty of opportunities inside that first 20 minutes that they failed to get any. They had more opportunities in the second half which they also failed to get. And in the end, I think the better team won, and I think the Cowboys deserve... I think it's about the right score today. Cowboys deserve this one.
Yeah, you see there the match stats. Bo Sadler with 99 passes at dummy half, making 28 tackles. Really had to work hard for that one. It was probably the MVP, you would say, for the Broncos, but didn't really create too many chances with his passing. Ended up having to use his halves for that as Tyler Awamatangi had that line break, had 5 overall, and ends up getting on the score sheet. Scored what would be considered the match-winning try, only needing one of them. But the Cowboys will be very content with that one, as we will be ending here now. For Lachlan Martin and the Simulation Rugby League Premiership, I've been Ollie Parche. We hope to see you next time.